What are the signs of overtraining? There's two types of overtraining. There's acute overtraining, or overreaching we'll call it, and then there's persistent overtraining. Acute overtraining can be pretty easily identified by very simple things. Raised resting heart rate, disrupted sleep, muscle soreness, general feeling of achiness, tiredness. That's your basic for an acute overreaching. This just means you've overdone it in the last day, last week, maybe the last month. A persistent overtraining is more difficult to identify. This means you've been overdoing it for months on end, and no longer is your body necessarily reacting by having a elevated heart rate, or no longer are you necessarily feeling muscle soreness. This is almost the point where you're so overtrained and you've been consistently overtrained for so long that your body's almost kind of given up on you, if it will. It's no longer adapting to the training, so it's no longer elevating its heart rate. It's no longer producing inflammation and soreness in order to try to slow you down. It's just sort of surviving. How is this identified? Well, it's a lot harder. But the biggest sign that we can see is there's no progress in the training, that every day is sort of the same as the day before. It just becomes a groundhog day of grinding your training. Training days never feel good, they never feel that bad. Intervals are never great, they're never that bad. It's just very plateaued, very blasé. Persistent overtraining takes a very long time to get over. Don't underestimate that if you've actually gotten yourself in a situation of persistent overtraining, of how much rest it'll require to get out of that. It isn't just a matter of taking a few days off, it's a matter of taking at least a few weeks off.